Tonight, Russia turns to Islamic banking in an attempt to fight Western sanctions on its financial institutes, and a Kashmiri independent news outlet forced to shut down by Indian authorities. We cover stories about the evolution of BRICS, China's response to allegations that it supports Russia's war, and a transit campaign that encourages Edmonton residents to confront their biases. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Catherine Bullock. Russia is introducing a new banking system that can potentially help solve its financial crisis since its war with Ukraine. Commencing on September 1st this year and spanning a duration of 2 years, Russia will pilot an Islamic banking system. It could lay the groundwork for the broader incorporation of Islamic banking practices within the entire nation. The principles of Islamic banking are rooted in Islamic law, or Sharia, and stand out as a distinct financial system. The main distinction is the prohibition of interest transactions, which are perceived as usurious. Instead, Islamic banks facilitate financial services through mechanisms like profit sharing and leasing agreements. The experiment is set to encompass 4 specific regions: Bashkortostan, Chechnya, Dagestan, and Tatarstan. These regions have substantial Muslim populations and have shown keen interest in Islamic banking services. Depending on the success of the pilot program, the government and the Bank of Russia can extend this program to different regions. The strategic introduction of Islamic banking to Russia serves dual purposes. The first is to attract foreign investments and to boost economic expansion within these regions where Muslims form a majority. The second is to effectively address the financial requirements of the growing Muslim population in Russia. Russia has been isolated in the global financial landscape since its war with Ukraine. Developing an alternate system of banking could help it achieve economic stability. Indian authorities have blocked the website and social media accounts of an independent Kashmiri news outlet. The Kashmir Wallah staff released on Sunday a statement about the blocks. They described the move as, quote, gut-wrenching censorship and a deadly blow. The news outlet's service provider has confirmed this blockage. It attributes it to India's Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and references the IT Act of 2000. The legislation addresses cybercrime and electronic commerce. As of now, there has been no immediate response from the government regarding this action. The news outlet staff says they have also received an eviction notice from their landlord. The latest move against this Kashmiri news outlet follows the arrest last year of its founding editor, Fahad Shah, under an anti-terror law. Shah faces allegations of glorifying terrorism and spreading fake news. The arrest came during a period of intense restrictions on press freedom in the region. Shah is still in prison in a jail in Jammu, situated 300 kilometers from his home. Sajjad Gul, a contributor to the Kashmir Wallah, was arrested this year due to his social media posts and remains incarcerated in the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. These incidents point to a pattern where numerous Kashmiri journalists have faced arrests, inquiries and investigations since the revocation in 2019 of the region's special status. North Korea says the US soldier who crossed into its territory last month from South Korea is seeking refuge due to racial discrimination within the American military. This is the first public announcement by Pyongyang about Travis King. King is a private second class of the US Army who crossed into North Korea from South Korea in July during a visit to the joint security area of Panmunjom. North Korea media says that King expressed his willingness to seek refuge in North Korea, or a third country, saying that he was disillusioned at the unequal American society. Pyongyang is continuing an investigation into the issue. Washington says it has not engaged in any significant communication with North Korea concerning the American soldier. US State Department spokesman Matthew Miller says despite making outreach efforts, North Korea has not responded about Private King's whereabouts and safety. King was reportedly on his way back to the US to face disciplinary action after spending time in a South Korean military prison on assault charges. More than 20 countries have formally applied to join BRICS. BRICS is a bloc of emerging economies that includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said in a televised address that BRICS represents a diverse group of nations with different political systems and a common desire for a more balanced global order. South Africa will host the 15th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, which starts tomorrow. It will be attended by the presidents of Brazil and China and India's Prime Minister. Russian President Vladimir Putin will be represented by Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Putin is to send his foreign minister because the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant in March for him. South Africa is a signatory to the Rome Statute, which established the court. Ramaphosa said that more than 30 heads of state and government from across Africa will be attending the summit. He said they want to build a partnership between BRICS and Africa so that the continent can unlock opportunities for increased trade, investment and infrastructure development. He said UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres will also attend the summit following the bloc's invitation. Ramaphosa said the United Nations Security Council must be transformed into a more inclusive body that is able to ensure peace and security. BRICS currently makes up a quarter of the global economy, accounting for a fifth of global trade. It constitutes more than 40% of the world's population. For more on the arrest of a Sunni cleric in Iran, stay tuned. China has slammed a media report which claims Beijing is arming Russia with weaponry. It calls it, quote, false sensationalism and malicious smearing. A report by the UK-based daily, The Telegraph, claims Russian firms have received tens of thousands of Chinese shipments since the war began. The report alleges China is arming Russia with helicopters, drones, optical sights, and crucial metals used by Moscow's defense industry. Wang Wenbin, spokesman for China's foreign ministry, says on the Ukraine crisis, China has always been committed to promoting reconciliation and dialogue. The spokesman says China will continue to play a constructive role in easing and cooling down the situation. He says in comparison to certain countries that constantly fan the flames and add fuel to the fire, China's position is open and above board. A prominent Sunni cleric has been arrested in southeastern Iran's Sistan-Baluchistan province. Maulvi Fathi Mohammad Naqshbandi is the Friday prayer leader in Rusk town in the Sunni-majority province that borders Pakistan and Afghanistan. In a statement, the Judiciary Office in Sistan-Baluchistan says Naqshbandi has in recent months, quote, adopted extreme positions and aligned himself with the opponents of the Islamic system. The press release accuses him of inciting street riots through his sermons. The statement says he was given necessary warnings but insisted on his wrong positions. The charges against him include disturbing public opinion through false speeches, slandering the system of the Islamic Republic of Iran, acting against national security, and illegal occupation of land. Last September, at least 19 people were killed and 20 others wounded in violence after a group of armed protesters stormed a police station in Zahedan, the provincial capital. The province has also witnessed several fatal attacks on security forces in recent months, which Iranian officials have blamed on local militant groups. A grassroots initiative led by Muslim women has kicked off a new campaign to celebrate the diversity within their local Muslim community and encourage Edmonton residents to confront their biases. The group, known as Sisters Dialogue, this past Friday has officially launched this endeavour. It took them 2 years to reach this stage. The campaign features a transit bus adorned with the images of various Muslim women, embodying the theme, individual safety is all our responsibility. Wati Rahmat, the visionary behind Sisters Dialogue, highlighted the pressing issue of Islamophobia, especially directed at women and girls. She emphasized that the campaign's primary objective is to empower Muslim women and girls to embrace their identity in public spaces and to break free from fear. Rahmat says the campaign is a starting point. She says she hopes the initiative will challenge preconceptions about Islam and help in eradicating Islamophobia. Sisters Dialogue has documented 16 instances of Islamophobic incidents in the past 2 years, only 9 of which were reported to the police. One of the worst from last year involved the assault of a young black Muslim woman in northeast Edmonton. The bus campaign is set to run for a duration of 8 weeks. A billboard featuring the campaign's message is prominently displayed on Jasper Avenue and 108th Street. To engage the community further, a playback theatre event and a photo exhibition are scheduled for Saturday, taking place at City Hall and running until September 8th. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Sound Vision Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organisation. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or go to muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.